How's it going? How's it going, everybody? Just covering some of the fires here. Let me send out my share to everybody. How's everybody doing today? There's no audio on this fire right here. What's going on, Terry? We have no audio at this point. How's it going, everybody? Welcome, welcome. It's good. It's good to be back. Hey, ups and downs. Make sure you guys are following the new page. Not the old new page, but the new page. Right now, we're just trying to cover some of these fires. Yeah, I know. I heard the air quality is so bad. If you can, just make sure that you guys are following the new page. I know most of you are, and I appreciate that. I'm doing great today, and I hope you guys are doing awesome. This is a mess, man. My thoughts and prayers are with these people in California. Over 15 people died. There was a couple celebrating their 70th wedding anniversary. 70th. And they died together. And the niece had said, the only thing worse is if one of them lived and one of them didn't. So they went out together. Right now, that's the only news I'm seeing. We covered the Texas Tech yesterday and the Columbus protest, which was kind of like nothing in Columbus Circle. How's it going? How's it going, everybody? We'll see how long we can keep this page up. I'm going to go on Twitter real quick. There is no volume here, just so you know. So let me do some hashtags. You guys keep the chat going. Let me know if we have a troll while I'm going. Let me know if there's any other news out there that you guys want me to pull up. If you can, share this broadcast, especially to the followers that were on the other page. I still have to reach out to everybody. I'll be right back. I won't be able to see what you're typing, so. Hope everybody's doing good. Thanks for joining. Welcome, welcome. Just doing some hashtags. I'll be right back to chat. All right, coming back to Periscope. All right. So I'm going to check on some news. A friend of mine told me that today in California, they made it no longer a felony if you know you have HIV and you give it to somebody. What do you guys feel about that? I'm going to check on that, though, and confirm it. I'm going to do that right now. I don't want to just say that. They want you to die. You talking about in California or me personally? All population control. I live in California. Anti-corruption. So did you hear that as well? I'm going to pull it up now. Let's check out some of the news on that. Wouldn't that be murder? I would think so. Governor Brown. Yeah, Harvey Weinstein. Oh, man. Be bad if he had AIDS. No, the fires are not out. This is live right now. Call the ground dwellers. I know, it does look like a bomb. It doesn't look like the fires. Why, do we have trolls? Well, that's different. If you don't know you have AIDS and then you give it, that's totally different. No trolls yet. Good. Hopefully none. All right, so let's see. California's Governor Jerry Brown on Friday signed a law that lowers the penalty for exposing partners to HIV from a felony to a misdemeanor. Which includes those who donate blood without informing the center about their HIV status. I guess this is his quote. Senator Scott Weiner, a Democrat from San Francisco, quote, "Today, California took a major step toward treating HIV as a public health issue instead of treating people living with HIV as criminals." Well, there you go. Now, you guys make that determination on if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I just put the news out. Finally something right in Cali. So you agree? Okay. So you agree that they should change their law? Make it a misdemeanor, not a felony? This is for people who know they have AIDS. With the incorrect pronoun. If you address somebody with the incorrect pronoun, what do you mean? Oh, are you serious? They really did say that you could be in trouble for that? Wait, he wants to punish you if you call someone by the wrong gender. Wow. Gender fluid. Wow. Hey, what's going on, Rich? All right, let me pull this up. Copy. We're watching Jake. Welcome. No comment on subject at hand. Oh, what happened to the fire here? I don't see the fire anymore. Let me pull it up. Yeah, they're saying that they passed the law. It's no longer a felony, but it's a misdemeanor if you know you have HIV and you give it to somebody, including when you give blood. So, there's that. Let me pull this up here. All right, so here's some stories on it. This must be the law here. Let me shrink me down a little bit. Let me knock me down. Can you guys read that? Make it bigger like that. How about that? Put me over here in the corner where I spent most of my childhood, in the corner. I don't know. I'm just putting the news out there. Feel safer now. Yeah, let me find the one about the gender. So, yeah, you're saying there's a law about... If you say, like, ma'am, when it's really a guy, or vice versa? So, that would be hard for the police. Good evening, Cody Starr. When the police are calling in, hey, right now we're in pursuit of a white car, plate number, da-da-da. It's a 5-foot, blonde-headed, Caucasian. I mean, what are they supposed to say? Male, female, human, 5-foot, blonde, human. So right now, let me try to find the law again. So if you're just joining in, we are discussing that in California, they reduced the charge. If you know you have HIV, if you know you have it, and you willingly donate blood and don't tell them or give it to somebody, it's no longer a felony, it's a misdemeanor. And now one of our viewers said that there's also a law that if you call the person, let's say it's a transgender and they see themselves as a male, but you say, excuse me, ma'am, or this lady or woman, you can be in trouble for that. And here's Jack saying, no, he doesn't feel safer now. So I don't have an opinion on it. I'm just putting it out there for you guys. Now, let me see what's going on with these fires. Because I had a helicopter shot when I first pulled it up, this broadcast, but it seems to have gone down. Are these still the fires right here? This still could be the fires. I was checking out which wineries were destroyed. There were several that were destroyed and several that were just damaged. I actually went out and purchased some Napa Valley wine. That's okay. Listen, you guys know, and for those of you who don't know, I'm just here to bring news. It doesn't make a difference to me if you're left, right, middle, love President Trump, don't like President Trump, gay, straight, black, white, Latino, whatever. You're all welcome here. Just don't say anything racist and don't threaten anybody. And don't make fun of Bella. Otherwise you get banned. I'm going to try to pull up that footage again of the helicopter feed. Oh, this is a pretty crazy shot. What is that? Was that on purpose, or was that an emergency landing? Oh, scooping water. That's pretty cool. I thought that was Sully Sullenberg again. Landed in the Hudson. Man. Yeah, we seen a lot of this yesterday. Let me try to pull up the video. Yeah, this video right here is crazy. I don't know what happened there. We got to watch that again. That's crazy. That is just a crazy footage right there. Let me see. I've never seen that before. That's wild. Oh, you were out of control Sunday night. You got to be careful, Rich. Yeah, they lost their live feed. I don't know what happened there. Maybe I could pull it up, though. Because that was pretty good. Let me see. There was a helicopter showing the fires right now. Yeah, 15 people passed away so far that I know of in the fires, including a 70-year-old couple. I mean, a couple that was celebrating their 70th wedding anniversary. All right, I got that video. Let me pull it up. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. This is just ended like maybe 15 minutes ago. What I'm about to pull up. Let's put that over there. Put me over here. Oh, let me put me. There we go. Now I got to put everything back the way it was. Wait, what happened there? There we go. All right, this just ended a little earlier. I can find out exactly. Unless this is just replays, but let me check it out. Because I had a live feed up. Let me check it out. I don't want to make any false claims. Oh wait, that one's from 19 hours ago. I pulled up the wrong one. All right, let me pull up the other one. I'm sorry. That's what I thought. I'm like, wait, it's not nighttime there. We'll get it right. This is pretty cool though to watch. Let me pull up the other one too. Also. Sorry, I muted my mic. All right, there we go. Now this one ended just a little bit ago. Now we're straight. There is no volume. Oh, what am I doing? keeps grabbing the videos together. Let me check on how much is contained. It's a good question. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's good to be back. Check this video out.
Beautiful horses. Who's in charge of you guys? Okay. They don't know where to go or what to do. They must have gotten loose.
Free food to evacuate.
Horses on the loose. Horses are, whoa, they're spooked. They've gotten out. I think they've gotten out and they're worried about the fire and they want to get out of here. Who's in charge of these beautiful horses? Beautiful horses.
Good Samaritan corral horses.
Who's in charge of you guys?
Broke loose after being spooked.
Okay. They don't know where to go or what to do.
Yeah, they rescued
must have
them.
gotten loose.
Oh, wow. Here's a before and after picture. Wow. There's another one. All right, let's see. I don't know what this is. I don't really have any way to search how long how the fires are contained. If somebody can find out. And they still don't know the cause. They don't know the cause yet. welcome everybody. Please follow and share. Yeah, it is very strange. You know, they were saying that they never seen fires jump the roads like that and how spread out they were. I don't know. I have a feeling, just a feeling, no facts, that some of these were set on purpose. I don't know. I'm not trying to freak people out, but...
That was just a switch.
I don't know why they moved everybody, but they're moving to the other side.
Where were the eats?
The eats are on the inside.
Whereabouts on the inside?
You can see a trailer. Wait, let me see if I desktop this.
This helicopter footage was shot just a little bit ago. It's not live anymore, but when I pulled up this broadcast, it was live. Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of animals that didn't make it. Sad. I know, we don't get, right, Andrew? We don't get an explanation most of the time anymore. They say we're still investigating and then everybody forgets about it. Very strange. I'm going to try to share this broadcast somehow on my other phone. So I'm going to be away for a minute. This was last night, I guess, footage. But this right now is during the day. It does seem, right, Rich? It does seem intentional a little bit. All right, I'll be right back. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, there's no audio on this because it's a helicopter feed, as you guys might have figured out. Welcome, everybody. Some of you got my invite from my other page. Please make sure you're following this page. This is the new page you're on right now. I had to go on my other page that they shut down, or not shut down, and then invite you guys to this page. Why is that over like that? There we go. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Please follow and share. KNTV is live. Okay. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Yes, Bella is on the set. I'll bring her up. She was out doing interviews on Animal Planet. I do not see KNTV, but I will check it out. Hold on. I'll make sure you guys are, when you follow or when you come up, I'll make sure I follow you guys back. I'm back. I'm back. What's going on? Kathleen, I got to refollow everybody, so. How far is going to Sacramento? I don't know if you guys know the story, but they stopped me from broadcasting on my first two pages, so I had to make this one. It's like cat and mouse. I don't know. They said they stopped me from being able to broadcast. I could still have my page and use my phone to film, but I can't do what I'm doing here, broadcast. Yeah, it can. Third time's a charm. So I sent them an email. They took 4 days to respond, and only thing they said was, we need your screen name. Meanwhile, I gave them my screen name. So now I'm still waiting on them to respond. Yes, the fires are still going. They want to monitor me, I know. They don't like the truth. They're trying to take me down. Stealing material. No, I'm not stealing material. I use the same feeds everybody uses. There's like 50,000 pages on Periscope using people's music, using people's feeds. It's more than that. It's some trolls keep turning me in for something. They don't say. They just say they stopped one of my broadcasts, and then to contact them, and when I do, they don't answer my email. I already ate one. Did you get a response yet from your email? Because other viewers have sent in emails to them too. No, right? See what I mean? They should at least explain what's going on. No, Rich, no. The only response was they asked me for my screen name that I gave them 3 times. So they're playing games. Now, if this, now as far as this fire goes, this fire, the winds are light today, but tomorrow, the winds are going to definitely pick up. Yeah, there's all kind of music scopes. People actually write Fox News in their headline. I mean, I could point out at least 4 news sites that all use other people's feeds. I'm trying to show the videos. These look like North Bay wildfires. Let me see. Let me see if I could pull up that live feed. Yeah, all that wine, it's bad. But over 15 people that I know have passed away, so that's obviously way worse than any wine. Sorry about that noise. That's the feed there. That's the actual audio from the helicopter. It's just like some weird siren noise. But yeah, the winds are supposed to really pick up tomorrow. You drink Riesling from Washington. That's all right. I drink Captain and Coke, so. We still don't know what started the fires yet. They still haven't said. Yeah, Rev gets a lot of he gets a lot of heat. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please follow and share. Bacardi and Georgia Peach Tea. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll have to check that out. See about this here.
Me and my son and the neighbor said, time to boogie.
Walking by Zanella's house was Myra Morante. She had walked about a mile from her own place on Sweet Gum Court, a small street where one side is completely gone, and Morante's house and two of her neighbors are still standing.
Our house is good, and I don't know how it happened. I mean, I have mixed feelings because it was a miracle that our house survived, and it's just heartbreaking. Our neighbors lived in the neighborhood for like 40 plus years and raised their families there, and they have their house is completely burned to the ground.
Morante said she had to walk in this morning, dodging roadblocks and guards, to retrieve medicine for her 11-year-old.
They're not letting us drive in. Sometimes they will and sometimes they won't. It's just mixed messages on what we can and can't do. We don't know when we can actually get back in to live in the house, but we need essentials. I mean, we left basically with nothing.
And tonight, the residents of Coffee Park beginning that long road of recovery. In Santa Rosa, Mark Matthews, NBC Bay Area News.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers are out with them. Thank you so much, Mark. We now want to return to another area that's being evacuated. The danger still lurking just around the corner. There are several evacuations in the Santa Rosa area. We're talking about Bennett Valley and Oakmont. We want to go to our Vicki Wynn. She's been covering this area. And Vicki, you're on top of the neighborhoods right now.
That's right. We're right here in Bennett Valley on Sonoma Mountain Road, which is also under evacuation, along with Bennett Ridge Road and Enterprise Road. You can see my hair blowing. The wind is picking up. I'm glad to hear Jeff saying it's not going to be gusting, but take a look at the smoke plumes right now hanging over Oakmont, which is right over that ridge. And then we're going to pan over here. That was to the west. We're going to head a little bit northwest and show you there are pockets of fire. That's Annandale State Park that you're looking at. And you can see the smoke is not rising straight up. It's flowing off to the north and to the east. And that is the big concern for the neighborhood right over that ridge, which is also under evacuation. Firefighters along Highway 12 spraying down structures near the Ledson Vineyard this morning.
This is a mandatory evacuation.
By 2 o'clock, another mandatory evacuation of nearby Oakmont's 2,500 homes. Police went through the mostly vacant neighborhoods to warn people to get out. Jolene Courtwright says she managed to pack a few mementos, but she knows the road to rebuilding for her friends and family will be long.
We're just glad people that we know are safe, and there's going to be, I have 2 cousins that lost their homes. I have probably 10 or 15 friends that have lost their homes, so it's going to be a interesting time to recover.
Okay, and we are getting questions all over Twitter about what Bennett Valley looks like. I'm going to give you the best view that I can right now. It does not appear to be in any sort of active fire zone. It's still under a mandatory evacuation, so please do not come back. Keep the roads clear. That is what the first responders have been telling us since yesterday. There are a few hot spots here and there, but you can see this area blackened already. But as far as we can see from our vantage point here, the fires are burning over there in that direction, over the ridge in Annandale State Park. At this point, the mandatory evacuation is underway in Bennett Valley, but there are no active flames that we can see. We'll send it back to you, Janelle and Raj.
Okay, Vicki Wynn reporting for us, and that's some good information. We saw Vicki in the 5 o'clock hour, and there were some threats that it was coming not only to the Bennett Valley, but to Oakmont. What you're looking at here is one of the Google images from space and all the smoke. And Vicki was saying in that area, Oakmont and Bennett Valley, there's more than 2,000 homes. So they have been evacuated. We see people not in that area. That's good news. And so far, flames are not there.
Let's check in with our Jeff Ranieri. He is tracking all these hot spots and these wildfires across the North Bay. And what are you seeing right now, Jeff?
Well, where we just saw Vicki, she was pointing out all the different hot spots. You have Bennett Valley here, you have Oakmont here, and then right on down to the south, you have Glen Ellen. So what the firefighters are trying to do is prevent people from being trapped if these flames continue to spread, especially between Glen Ellen and Oakmont. So that's why there are evacuations in place in Oakmont, also near Glen Ellen, due to these hot spots that are also near Bennett Valley. So please follow those evacuation orders as they are issued. Now, in terms of what we're checking out with the wind, it has picked up a little bit today, but it's still sustained lower than 10 miles per hour on average here from Napa right on over towards Santa Rosa. Now, firefighters are using a brand new strategy today. They're attacking the fires on the southern lines of those fires. They're trying to hold off the flames with a wind switch ahead. Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to see a drier northerly wind develop.
Yeah, sorry, I can't move this one video
20 to 40 miles per hour.
Over,
They're hoping
so it's kind of cut off a little bit.
On the southern lines,
it won't let me move it over.
Out of the north, a lot of the fires will hopefully start to slowly burn themselves out. We're going to have to wait and see on this strategy, but it is their best bet right now to get any sort of help. Coming up in about 10 minutes, I'll have new details on that red flag fire warning, and we'll have the 7-day forecast.
Okay, Jeff, we'll see you shortly. Now, we've been talking at length about the wine industry. Some of the damaged wineries that we know of right now: Paradise Ridge, Chateau St. Jean, Signorello in Napa, Stag's Leap, and Frey Vineyards in Mendocino County. So it's being impacted. Not all of them, but a good chunk of them.
Yeah, NBC Bay Area's Kim Yonanaka has been in wine country covering the destruction and damage, and it's not over yet. Kim, we heard you see flames in your area right now.
Yes, Janelle and Raj, we wanted to point you up to the hills. We are on the Schaefer family property. It's a long Silverado trail. There are flames that just started in the hills. I don't know if you can see, there is a home fairly nearby. Now, Mr. Schaefer did come up here just about 20 minutes ago. There were no flames. We've seen some hot spots.
This is my neighborhood.
This is the first time we've seen flames today. Actually, the attitude had shifted right along here from Trancas through Napa up to Yountville. We thought that threat of the flames, we thought that was over. And they were telling me, these winemakers, saying that they instead were turning their issue to this issue of power. There's still no electricity, and the wineries need that right now because 90% of the crop has been picked here in the Napa Valley, and they're trying to do what they can to salvage this year's harvest.
It's been 2 days now the fire's been going.
Hazy smoke-filled daylight reveals entire vineyards either damaged or destroyed. 4 wineries in the Napa Valley are reporting significant damage or total losses. As vintners got their first look at the fire's devastation, the focus quickly switched from the outside in.
Our maintenance guys were struggling to get some generators connected to the grid here in the winery just to get the cooling system up and running to try to control the temperature.
A second day without power could prove catastrophic to wineries. With many of this year's vintage in the fermentation process, temperature is key. At Stag's Leap, a quick fix is protecting 80% of this year's vintage for now. Other wineries are using dry ice, even CO2, to try and keep their cellars cool.
we'll all have to figure out how we're going to deal with this vintage, the remainder of this vintage.
Hey guys, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I got to make a phone call.
Crush pad. They're probably cooked, and I imagine the wine might not be.
Please follow and share, and thanks for tuning in.
Now, coming back out here live again, we're trying to show you these flames that have just popped up. Hopefully, because communication has been so poor, that fire personnel can see that these flames have popped up. Again, we're on the Schaefer family property. We are in about 20 acres along Silverado Road. It's near Signorello Estate, which suffered that complete loss of its tasting room. Now, as I mentioned, cell phone service spotty. Silverado Trail still closed. The air quality, very bad. Hard for me to catch my breath. So a lot going on here. We did all day. It was very still about 10 minutes ago. Wind did pick up. So obviously, as Jeff's been saying, the conditions out here are changing. It is still very fluid. That's the very latest from here. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, Kim, very good information for us. Kim Yonanaka from the Schaefer Vineyards there along the Silverado Trail near some other notable wineries like Silverado and Pine Ridge as well. Now, our coverage is going to continue online. You're here on the TV side, but we've been live streaming our coverage and new information on our Twitter feed, on our Facebook page, and NBCBayArea.com. We're also providing a full list of schools and evacuation centers around our multiple counties impacted by this.
Now, besides the vineyards and wineries, the fire is also hitting some other well-known landmarks in the North Bay. We're going to go over which ones were damaged and which ones were spared. We are getting a good look today at some well-known buildings and landmarks in the North Bay and finding out if they survived the fires.
Yeah, we've compiled a partial list with the help of both social media and our crews out on the field. Let's bring in Scott Budman, who's here in studio with us. Scott, one of the questions I had was that Silverado Resort, that old-school classic mansion that was thankfully not damaged in these fires.
Yeah, it's one of the places, Janelle and Raj, we've been asked about a lot. Some of the more well-known spots in the fire zone. And we were asked largely because people were evacuated so quickly, they really didn't have time to check on their own. Among the places we found and can show you, not good news for Cardinal Newman High School. This was founded back in 1964. It was named after Cardinal John Henry Newman. A tough one to see for lots of viewers who tell us they went to high school there. They played sports. As you can see, it has been terribly damaged by fire. Now we want to move on to the Stornetta Dairy. This is along Highway 12. It's historic. It was founded back in 1932. It used to be part of the very familiar dairy company, Clover Stornetta Farms.
It's just been an iconic landmark for those of us who were born and raised here. The house across the street that burned to the ground, it was a beautiful old white home that's been here as long as I can remember, as has this property.
From that area to our refrigerator. Now I want to show you the Hilton Sonoma Wine Country Inn. 250 rooms set on 13 acres, now destroyed. Lots of people went north to stay there when visiting Santa Rosa, but fire crews say they had to abandon it early. It completely burned down to the ground, and it is no more. But I'm happy to tell you that some of the well-known landmarks survived the fire. What's going on, Charlie Brown? This is the Charles Schultz Museum, a museum and research center dedicated to the work of the late, great Peanuts creator, Charles Schultz.
All right, what's going on? What's going on?
About that one over the last 36 hours. I've been there myself.
Pretty horrible,
happy to say they say it will reopen soon. Also, if you're wondering, the French Laundry restaurant wants you to know it's closed tonight because of a power outage, but says it will reopen tomorrow. Janelle and Raj?
A lot of notable businesses.
Yeah, a lot. But let's get a check of our forecast. And Jeff, you're following those conditions outside.
Yeah, and we're not done with the fire danger just yet. I'll have details on a new red flag fire warning. I wanted to let you know, though, we also have fog rolling into San Francisco. So not all of the grayness you're seeing in the sky
I heard
is
the air
smoke.
quality's
We'll have
horrible.
details on all of the Bay Area's weather coming up in a few minutes.
There's their chopper feed. I don't know what they're doing with that. Man, fires are crazy. There's no audio on these right now. No, they don't know. They don't know yet. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, here they go.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the North Bay fires. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jeff Ranieri. We want to let you know we're not done with the fire danger just yet. A brand new red flag fire warning has been issued for Wednesday and also on Thursday. This is for the hills of the North and the East Bay, also now including the eastern hills of the South Bay. Winds could gust 20 to 40 miles per hour out of a very dry northeasterly direction, and also that humidity 5 to 15% as this wind event gets going. It's just looking more and more apparent like this is going to be happening in terms of those gusty winds. It's obviously the last thing we need right now, with 5 different fires burning throughout the Bay Area, from the Partrick fire at 1,000 acres to the Atlas fire at 25,000 to the Tubbs fire at 27,000
Yeah, the wind's going to be bad.
So where do we go from here in terms of conditions tonight? Humidity is going to continue to help firefighters on the lines, anywhere from 50 to 70%. That's going to add moisture into the atmosphere, which is the good news. And also check out the temperatures dropping into the 50s as we head throughout this evening. Now let's shift our focus to the wind, and we have a future cast here so we can show you how things will play out on Wednesday. We'll start off the morning, winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. It'll be variable, coming from many different directions. By the evening hours, it begins to pick up a little bit more, 5 to about 26 miles per hour, a little bit more gusty up into the North Bay. But the time zone I'm really focusing in around right now is very early on Thursday morning, right into about the morning commute. This is when we could see winds ramp back up again out of the north. Very dry, low humidity, maybe gusts up to 24 in Napa, 26 in San Francisco, 29 in Livermore, and 24 in San Jose. Fire danger throughout the Bay Area, but of course Marin, Napa, and Sonoma counties under an extreme threat as more embers could blow around, especially here as we head into Thursday morning. Then we should start to see the winds try to calm down a little bit more as we head into Thursday. So in terms of tomorrow's forecast, we'll fold it back into the rest of the Bay Area. Lots of 70s here for the interior valleys, no big issues, and we'll have cooler 60s at the immediate coastline. We'll take you into the extended forecast for the North Bay. It is gusty on Wednesday and Thursday with that red flag fire warning. Notice winds stay on and off, breezy to windy here, even right into this upcoming weekend. So while temperatures are cool, firefighters have what looks to be an insurmountable task ahead to try and hold on to the containment of these fires with this wind coming our way over the next few days. We'll be back with more news and more updates right after this break.
Restricted. These townhomes still smoldering. Multiple different agencies called out to this first alarm.
All right, I was just checking on. There was another fire. It said in Goodyear. I guess that's a town somewhere. What's going on, everybody? Wow. That's not good. Hey, make sure, please, to make sure to follow this new page. This is not the old new one, but it's the new one. Sorry, I had my mic turned down. That's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. I really appreciate the super hearts, but don't really do them here because they keep shutting my page down, and I don't want you guys, you know, to feel like you're wasting your money or whatever. I appreciate what you guys do, and I know that you like what's going on here. But just hold off on the super hearts right now till we find out what's going on.
About the same time.
All right, we have audio back now.
Clay Thompson, like so many of us, clearly affected by what's happening. And keep in mind, Clay was evacuated during that recent fire in the Oakland Hills about 2 weeks ago.
And I want to say one thing for all the families affected by this fire and these fires. It's terrible.
I know. I already ate one. I know.
What's important, and I know there's been some deaths, and it's just really tragic.
No, they show that you appreciate people, and I really appreciate them. So I don't feel like they're a waste of money.
Well, from the Warriors to football legend Ronnie Lott, he was also impacted. Lott telling me that he was at the Mayakama Resort in Santa Rosa there when he saw flames all around him. He was there hosting a charity event. Here's a photo from that, along with Barry Bonds, Brett Saberhagen, and other sports stars. Lott said they were all evacuated, and eventually he drove home with his wife at 2:30 in the morning back to his home in the South Bay.
Yeah, some scary moments for them, and images continue to pour into our newsroom from the North Bay wildfires. They're powerful, heartbreaking, and some hopeful as we see strangers and neighbors coming to the aid of fire victims. Now, you can see a lot of these pictures, a lot of the devastation. This is a mobile home park in Santa Rosa, just ravaged by the flames. They're all on our website at NBCBayArea.com. We're also posting updates on evacuation centers and how you can help if you want to donate your time or money.
And here's our plan this evening. We invite you to stay with us. We're going to continue our fire coverage.
Yes, I do have a Facebook page. I really don't promote it a lot. One thing I do promote, though, is YouTube, because I'm starting to put all my videos up on YouTube. So if you want to go check out my YouTube page and you do want to help out, instead of giving super hearts, there's a donation link. You can find it. If you're on the phone, the donation link is on the About page. If you're on a computer, then you just open up the home page and you'll see the donation link. So I appreciate anything you give is going to go towards better equipment and keeping the show going. And if not, it's okay too. So it's all good. Yes, that's a puggle. That's Bella. So they're back on a commercial now. There's no, oh, you have two puggles? They're awesome. I have PayPal. I do have PayPal. It's set up on, that's what the donation link goes to. This is the YouTube FB Live Real News, and you'll see the donation link. It goes right to PayPal. I know, Bella's cute. I'll show you. I'll show you a picture while they're on commercial. There she is. She's 11 years old. Oh, the horse thing, yeah. What happened to that? I'm sorry. You got me talking about my dog. Yes, 11. They're on a commercial right now, so there's no audio. Percent of containment, any word. I don't have any facts on that yet. I could check it out, but if somebody could check it out real quick and bring it up, that'd be great. But I'm not sure. Yeah, she's in better shape than me. Yes, Ken. Appreciate you guys checking out the page. Let me know if there's any other breaking news. Like yesterday, you guys let me know about the Texas Tech. That was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy. They just went to check on the guy, and the kid shot him, I guess because he had drugs in the room or something.
as this was a
nice group here tonight. Yes.
fire. There were some places that we just couldn't get to.
This chat is awesome, man. I didn't have to block anybody.
Take anything. We just got out.
It's a strong community. Everybody helps everybody. It's just...
We had a lot of good years there. Yeah. And maybe we will again.
We're breaking into our regularly scheduled programming to follow our breaking news. There are more evacuations as we speak and more homes on fire. Thanks for continuing to stay with us. I'm Raj Mathai.
And I'm Janelle Wang. This firefight far from over. Sky Ranger above the scene earlier today. This was just about an hour ago. As you can see, the flames continue to devour the hillsides. This is in Sonoma County near Glen Ellen. Glen Ellen, a community of 800 people already devoured by flames, but on high alert as these flames approach the area right now. A lot of hot spots and flare-ups going on in Sonoma County as well as Napa and Solano County as we speak.
It's been unsettling to see all of this really replay from what we saw Sunday night because we have seen homes on fire. The death toll stands right now at 15 people. Let's bring in NBC Bay Area's Vicki Wynn. She's been joining us now for the last couple of hours in one of these new evacuation zones. This is about 8 to 10 miles east of Santa Rosa. Vicki joins us from the Bennett Valley where more than 2,000 homes in that area have been evacuated. Vicki, are you with us, and what's the latest there?
Raj, I sure am. I'm on Sonoma Mountain Road, which is evacuated, Bennett Ridge Road, as well as Enterprise Road, all under a mandatory evacuation as night falls here. And I want to give you a view, as you can see a lot better now that the sun has gone down. This is what firefighters are so concerned about. All of that orange that you see glowing there are fires burning actively at this hour in the Annandale State Park. And right beyond that ridge is the Oakmont community, 2,500 homes. They're also under a mandatory evacuation. Now, we are just seeing this within the last minute. That far left fire that's putting out that dark black smoke, I believe that's a structure. We have seen a few homes up there on the ridge. That's not the main part of the Oakmont community that firefighters were concerned about because there's an entire subdivision down below, another golf course over there. But I think that is a structure that we're seeing putting that thick black smoke out right now. So right now, the wind is extremely calm. We're really grateful. The temperatures dropped quite a bit, at least 10 degrees since the sun went down about 10 minutes ago. So that is definitely going to help. We're not seeing what we saw Sunday night that led to these deadly fires, right? That was 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts. I mean, imagine right now, if you had a fire burning like that in the mountains, wind gusts picking up those embers and just dropping them all over homes and businesses. That's exactly what we saw. And that's why we don't have Coffee Park anymore. That's why we don't have Mark West Estates. So much of Fountain Grove just decimated. We'll be bringing you a lot more of that in our 11 o'clock newscast. We got up into Fountain Grove, into areas that people really haven't gotten to see at all. And it's really unbelievable. But right now the concern is what's happening in Annandale State Park, and the concern that that fire will go over the ridge and that any of the embers from that fire will get picked up and dropped onto all of the rooftops that are just right on the other side. Now we're going to pan around. We're losing a lot of light here, but I want to show you the rest of Bennett Valley because people are tweeting. They're asking, how is Bennett Valley? Is Bennett Valley on fire? And as far as we can see, we're in a really good spot with a really good vantage point. Things look okay here. I hesitate because I don't want to overpromise, but so much of this area already is blackened and burned, and we don't see any active fires in Bennett Valley. But right over there on that ridge that you see, more flames just picking up right now. So it's more dramatic at night. You can see it better at night. We're hopeful. We've seen a lot of heavy equipment here. We've seen a lot of fire crews, mutual aid. Firefighters are aware, and we're also seeing a lot of law enforcement doing a great job patrolling these vacant ghost towns of neighborhoods because they're looking for looters and they're looking to make sure that everyone is getting out, including the elderly. You know, some folks are being told 2 and 3 times to evacuate. Please don't be one of those people because law enforcement, they can't be back there. You have to save yourself, and you have to listen to these men mandatory evacuations because we know all too well what happens when people don't listen. Reporting live from Bennett Valley, I'm Vicki Wynn. We'll send it back to you.
Okay, Vicki, night has fallen, and it's really ominous to see these flare-ups and these hot spots in the distance. The danger not over yet, far from over.
And what we'll do with Vicki Wynn's camera, we'll keep that camera live available for us so we can see some of the flames. We also want to bring in Chris Anthony from CAL FIRE. And Chris, first of all, are you with us? And we thank you for your time tonight.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, Chris, it's Raj Mathai along with Janelle Wang. If you can just answer a few questions here. In terms of the weather forecast, it seems favorable for the firefight. Not much wind, not much increased humidity, which is good. How come we're seeing these rekindled flames, especially kind of in the neighborhood level?
Well, so, today we had an inversion that was set over the entire area, which really caused all that smoke just to set in. And as that inversion lifted, we saw really active fire behavior later this afternoon. So what you're seeing is just those areas, each of the 5 fires in this complex that are still active.
Yeah, we've heard that fires can create their own type of weather systems. Because of that inversion layer, is that why we're not seeing air tankers and planes dropping fire retardant as much today?
Yeah, so that's a really good point, and we did have problems because it was so smoky. It did inhibit our ability to get fixed-wing aircraft in there to be able to, put retardant down on the fire lines, and so that was limited throughout the day today.
Okay, Chris, as you're talking, we're looking at live pictures now near above the Bennett Valley area where one of our reporters was, Vicki Wynn. Can you answer to us? It seems a little sobering, if you will. A few hours ago, the sheriff of Sonoma County said we expect to have some updated numbers in terms of the containment, that perhaps it could be 10 to 15% contained at this hour. However, we believe it's still at 0%. Why is that?
Well, so the containment actually did go up. We're going to be reporting a 5% containment and 37,000 acres on the 5 fires that are in the complex. But, as you can see from the pictures that your viewers are looking at, it is still a very active fire, and we still have a tremendous amount of work to do, not only on the fires in the southern part of the complex, but for the Sonoma County that are.
Okay, Chris, we're losing you a bit right now.
All right, I'm going to grab some food real quick. I'll be back in around 10 minutes.
Containment.
But I'm going to leave the page up.
I know it's hard to fight.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Keep following and sharing.
What's the tactic? What's the approach?
I'll keep checking on some news.
More containment on this
and
fire.
I'm leaving the page up. I'll be back on camera in like 10 minutes.
Okay, that was Chris Anthony from CAL FIRE. We lost him, but he talked briefly about why these flare-ups are happening. We had an inversion layer earlier today.
Let me know if there's any trolls. I'll block them.
Some of the flames, and even though weather is in their favor, but that's also why they couldn't fly any air tankers or choppers today because of that inversion layer. There's just so much smoke. Visibility was so poor.
Yeah, and this is all happening when we know in these next 24 and 36 hours that we might have a red flag warning with increased winds. So this is not necessarily the best news moving forward, but there was one sliver of good news in there that Chris Anthony from CAL FIRE is saying soon they will be announcing, but he told us first here that there is at least 5% containment. And again, you're looking at live pictures now. You can see the fire on the mountain there up on the ridge. This is about 10 miles east of Santa Rosa.
Yeah, this is in Sonoma County, but we're also following the fire now moving into Solano County. This is the Atlas fire. It started in Napa County and then now moved to Solano County toward Fairfield and I-80, and our NBC Bay Area's Jody Hernandez is there. She's been there all day on the front lines, and there are evacuation orders there as well.
That's right, and it really is an awful situation. Things are really heating up. Now, we just got back. We drove about a quarter mile down Sassoon Valley Road just a short time ago, and what we saw was really unbelievable. We're going to roll some video. The fire is now moving on close to the road, and in places we are told it has crossed the road. Now, that video is, again, along Sassoon Valley Road at the Solano and Napa County lines. Now, firefighters have been working all day to try to keep the fire from coming over the ridge into Solano County. They've been attacking it with by air. We were up on the ridge watching as they were pouring water onto the fire, but unfortunately, it did crest over the ridge, and now it is making its way down to the road, again, on Sassoon Valley Road. There are new mandatory evacuations in place for Solano County. Gordon Valley Road, Williams Road, Lambert Road, and Clayton Road are now under mandatory evacuation orders. That they joined the 600 or so other residents who were evacuated last night, none of them being allowed to come back in. Again, a very serious situation out here. Earlier today, we were up on Twin Sisters Road, right up to the right of me, and up at the very top of the road is a multi-million-dollar house called the Glass House. Folks who live out here in Green Valley, as I do, have heard of it. It is a beautiful home. My colleague Cheryl Hurd is now up there, and she texted me that the Glass House is now gone, as well as another house on Twin Peaks Road. So these would be the first homes in Solano County, if in fact that is the case, that have been taken by this fire. So this Atlas fire. Again, folks in Lower Green Valley are watching all of this very nervously. So far, folks in Fairfield proper in Lower Green Valley have not been ordered to evacuate. We've been under an advisory at this point, but people, I can tell you, are getting very nervous. And as I was down there watching those flames, I was very nervous. The ashes are coming up. The smoke is burning. A very difficult and sad situation to watch. Again, the fire making its way now to Sassoon Valley Road. That's the latest from Solano County. I'm Jody Hernandez. Back to you guys.
Okay, Jody, thank you. We will continue to lean on Jody for her local knowledge there. She said she lives in the Lower Green Valley part of that, and rightfully so. Everyone is nervous because up on the hill in the Upper Green Valley, you're seeing the flames and you're seeing some of the destruction. And according to Cheryl Hurd, one of our other reporters, one of the notable homes there has burned.
Mansions, $3 to $4 million homes have burned just outside of Fairfield. Our Jeff Ranieri is keeping track of the fire conditions and the active hotspots going on right now. And Jeff, you know, the winds have died down, but these flare-ups still happening.
Right. We heard from the official on the phone, as you guys were talking about, the inversion layer. And an inversion layer basically is like a big cap sitting right across the Bay Area. It's a big lid. So you had a lot of the smoke trapped right on down near the surface. And as some of that lifted today, it did help to stir up the atmosphere. So it really wasn't gusty winds overall. But again, as the cap of some of the smoke started to lift, you get a little bit of uplift in the atmosphere. And that did help to fan some of these flames. You can see overall right now the winds anywhere between 5 to 7 miles per hour from Santa Rosa over to Napa with these 5 different fires that are burning. Now, take a look at this map closely on your TV screen, and you can see these yellow arrows. That's the direction of the wind flow. It's coming from the west primarily and moving off towards the east. There's a little bit of a southerly component at times with this wind, giving it also a little bit more of a northeasterly push. But generally coming from the ocean, and the wind is now moving into the interior valleys. Now, that is the main reason why we've seen these fires switch directions today, because this wind right here, it's a completely different direction than when the fires got started Sunday night and Monday. That wind was more out of the north. So you had all of these areas getting burned. Well, now the wind is switching direction, and that's why we have these new evacuations in place and new locations getting burned, even though winds right now are below 10 miles per hour. So we'll get you into the 2 spots we are tracking with those new evacuations. The first one is where Vicki Wynn was reporting near Bennett Valley, Annandale State Park, Oakmont, Glen Ellen. All of these areas are near hot spots, and that's why those evacuations are in place with this wind coming more out of the west. Again, even though it's not gusty, it is still spreading some embers here, especially near Oakmont down to Glen Ellen in that corridor. Second location we just saw Jody Hernandez reporting in, that's in Green Valley, located right here. She was on Twin Sisters Road earlier today. She said she saw a lot of the flames coming up and moving closer to her. That's because the ridge right here with the Atlas fire, we're starting to see some of those flames getting closer.